Hello, good morning, and welcome to this webinar on Therefore Smart Capture in version 25 of Therefore Online. So my name is Jennifer Schmidt. I'm your host for the webinar today. I'm a member of the digital engagement team here at Therefore. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email, jennifer.schmidt@therefore.net, or you can send it to our team, which is media@therefore.net. So, to answer some of the most frequently asked questions, this webinar will be recorded. It will be available for download on our extranet as well as our YouTube channel, Therefore TV. So today I'm talking about the new release for Therefore Online, which is version 25. We're here in April 2021. Now, we've moved to a continuous release schedule. This means that new releases are added to Therefore Online as soon as they are available. And once a year, we have a main release where Therefore On-Premise is also updated. So right now, this new version is for Therefore Online only. However, later in the year, new features will be made available to our on-premise customers as well. So, when talking about Therefore Online, we're talking about several new features. The biggest new feature of this release is Smart Capture. So we'll be talking about what is Smart Capture, how does it work, how you can configure it, and what the licensing is. Then we'll also briefly mention the other new features in this version, including the Business Central connector, new e-signature providers, and other features as well. So what is Smart Capture? Smart Capture is an AI-based capture solution to automate the extraction of invoice data. And that's the logo, so we've got a new logo for it as well. And it has a lot of benefits to use it. It saves you time, you can increase the accuracy, and it reduces costs. So because it's AI-based, you're not having to do any complicated configuration. It doesn't need a lot of time to set up. And it automatically will read out the index data from an invoice and save it to Therefore. So it really does save a lot of time and it's very easy to use. So how does Smart Capture work? First, you need to save an invoice to a Therefore category to start the recognition process. The workflow uploads the invoice to be processed and recognized by Smart Capture. Moments later, users can review the captured index data for quick and easy data validation. Once validated, invoices can further be processed using Therefore workflows to ensure efficiency. So the workflow is save the document to Therefore. In the category for Smart Capture, the workflow starts, Smart Capture indexes data, and then the user has to validate the data. Thereafter, you can then move the invoice from the Smart Capture category to the other category. So this is what the workflow looks like in a simplified form. Again, we upload to Smart Capture, it gets processed, then it needs manual verification, it moves to the final category, and the workflow ends. Very, very simple. So what you need to do is when you license Smart Capture, you will need to configure a category and a workflow to send documents for processing in Smart Capture. The idea is that one category will be used for invoices you want to process with Smart Capture, and then another category will be used for final storage and invoice validation and approval. We actually will supply you these categories so that it's even easier. All you will have to do is download the sample XML file from the extranet and then import it onto your Therefore system. So what does the manual verification or validation step look like? What you need to do here is the category. As you're manually validating the invoice, here are the different fields, and you're going to be asked to say, is this correct or not? So Smart Capture will tell you, I think this is the date, and you're going to be comparing the date that you see here with the date that Smart Capture has read out. Now, when talking about Smart Capture, it's important to note that Smart Capture licensing is based on the number of pages you extract and how much is extracted per page. There are two different options, and administrators can change how much is extracted at any time for maximum flexibility. Costs will be updated dynamically based on how much information is extracted per page. That by default, Smart Capture will extract the header, the footer, and the line items of the invoice. However, you can choose to only extract the header and the footer, And that means you will be able to recognize 50% more pages. So let's talk about that again. By default, we will extract the header and the footer. If you want, you can only extract header and footer. This is always extracted. Optional is to extract the line items here. So one page is valued at header, footer, and line items, or if you choose to do it without, you can extract 1.5 pages without these line items. And now, of course, because we can dynamically choose how much to extract, we have a method of tracking the consumption. So the solution designer here has a little box that allows you to look at how many credits are being consumed. We have a licensing mode, either subscription or prepaid. We can see how many credits are being used per month. And then the credits consumed in the billing period. Credits are the method that the solution designer has for showing you how much is being consumed. So one page with line items is equal to 1 credit. 1 credit equals 1 page with line items, or 2/3 of a page without. In other words, 1,000 pages with line items equals 1,500 without. And so this will be always accurate, and depending on what mode you're using for extracting the data, the solution designer will automatically deduct the correct number of pages and or credits. One important thing to note is that Smart Capture is AI-based. So due to the nature of AI, it starts learning from the very first invoice. This means, just like you wouldn't teach a baby the wrong words or the wrong names of colors, you shouldn't teach Smart Capture wrong information. This means you need to correct any mistakes that Smart Capture makes right away, even when doing demos. That way, Smart Capture will learn faster and will do a better job of identifying information in the future. So Smart Capture is kind of like a baby. It soaks up all information and learns right away. So if you're teaching it wrong information, or if you're not even correcting wrong information, then it will think that that wrong information is correct and will continue making those same mistakes. So always teach Smart Capture the correct information, correct any mistakes that it makes. Licensing details. We're talking about today only about Therefore Online because version 25 is only for Therefore Online customers. Let's talk about what options Therefore Online customers have. Some Therefore Online customers are purchasing Therefore Online. They're paying for it on a monthly basis. In this case, you can subscribe to packs of 100 or 1,000 credits for the month and or billing on a pay-as-you-go basis. Credits are valid for 1 month from the 25th of the previous month to the 25th midnight of the current month. Additional credits consumed are billed on a pay-as-you-go basis. Customers can change credit subscription, however, decreasing the amount of credits will result in a downgrade fee. So, monthly subscription is always valid from the 25th until the 25th of the next month at midnight. And you can subscribe to packs of 100 or 1,000 pages and or pay as you go. So if a customer, for example, needs to recognize 1,200 pages of invoices every month, they should subscribe to 1 pack of 1,000 pages and 2 packs of 100 pages. Smart Capture Online Prepaid. So this means a customer has prepaid their Therefore Online for a certain period of years. And in this case, you can purchase Therefore Online credits in packs of 1,000 or 10,000, valid for the entire duration of the prepaid period. Credits are valid for the entire duration of the initial prepaid period, so customers must purchase additional credit packs with the purchase order for the current period and the year thereafter. Unused credits expire at the end of the initial prepaid period. If a customer extends the prepaid period for Therefore Online, the credit validity period is not extended. We have some more brochures and flyers that clearly go through all of these various licensing models. The important thing to remember is that the packs are set. There's no ability to choose exactly the number, so you need to purchase a pack. If you have a monthly subscription, you can also do pay as you go, where each individual invoice is or page is invoiced to you. And if you have prepaid, then the number of pages for Therefore Smart Capture is going to be valid the entire length of your prepaid period. All right, so now I've got a pop quiz here to test if you guys have been paying attention. True or false? Once you select if you want to extract line items or not, that selection is final forever and cannot be changed. Do you guys remember? That's right. It can be changed anytime in the Solution Designer. True or false? Smart Capture increases the CSS value of a Therefore installation. It's actually false. Smart Capture does not increase the CSS value. So regardless of how many pages you need, it does not affect how much CSS you're paying. True or false? There is 100% no manual work with Smart Capture. And that's actually false. Users need to manually verify the extracted data. Smart Capture dynamically calculates cost based on if you're extracting line items or not. And that's true. Consumption is dynamically updated. Some more. Can we skip the manual verification step even if we know that AI capture is accurate? No. At this point in time, no, but it's definitely something that we're considering for the future. Is this available for on-premise Therefore? So it will be available starting with Therefore 2021. The initial launch is only for Therefore Online version 25. Can I continue to use the content connector or other capture solutions as well as Smart Capture? Yes, absolutely. We recommend using various capture solutions together to best accommodate your needs. See the documentation and capture solution comparison chart. So the content connector should definitely be used. And there's also a lot of situations where I would personally recommend using the content connector over Smart Capture. For example, if you're getting PDF A3 invoices in and you have a nice capture profile with the content connector, then use the content connector for that. Pick and choose what types of invoices make the most sense to send through Smart Capture. You can use all various different types of capture solutions together, and you're not forced to use Smart Capture. Only the documents that you put into the Smart Capture category and send through the Smart Capture workflow will be recognized by Smart Capture. So you can definitely pick and choose. Can Smart Capture be used for other types of documents, or is it only for invoices? So at this moment, it's only for invoices, but it could also work for documents like a POD or bill of lading data in the future. So we're working on that. So now I'll do a demo of Smart Capture. I have my test server here open. And so what I can do here is I'm now going to open up an invoice. So yeah, here's the invoice. You can see it's just a photo that I took with my phone of an invoice that I received at my house. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will later gray out my personal address and personal information for security reasons. But yeah, that's an actual invoice that I received. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it into the Smart Capture input category. And you can see here the original document name was automatically taken over, as well as the storage date. All right. So let's claim this. I'm going to claim the workflow instance for myself. And now I get to review the instance. So as you can see, this was an invoice that actually had very poor quality. It was just a photo. So we'll see if it can actually recognize any of the fields on it. So invoice number, Rechnungsnummer, you guys get a free German lesson if you don't speak German. The issue date, that was also correct. The order number, there was no order number. The price, let's make it a little bit bigger here. Here, this is the number here without the amount due is 160.51. That's true. The total without tax was 142.05. That's also true. Here's the total tax was 18 euros 46 cents. That's also true. This was 13% tax here, and the currency was euros. So they got everything right. And there was one line item here. This was for wood for my wood burning stove at my house. And you can see here that it caught all the fields, even though, as you can see here, this was just an image of a invoice that was wrinkled up and handed to me. So got everything. So we can confirm it. And that's it. All right, so we'll try this again with another invoice. Let me just open up the Solution Designer again in the repository. I'll make this a little bit smaller. And then again, we can put in here another invoice. This time I'll try an invoice that's in a different currency. So now I'm going to drag and drop this invoice into the input category again and save it. This is a US dollar invoice. So let me just show you what the US dollar invoice looks like. So you can see here, it says invoice, it has an invoice number, a date, customer ID, and we've got some regular invoice dates and fields. So let's see if Smart Capture is able to recognize that it's a US dollar invoice. So once again, let's open up the input category. Invoice is saved. We will now start the workflow. Go to the workflow inbox. And here is our workflow instance. So I will claim it. Now it's opening up in Smart Capture. And now we can confirm. So this looks right. Order number, I don't see an order number here. Issue date, 3/6/2021. That looks good. The amount due is 99976. That looks correct too. Total tax. And currency was US dollars. So to me, this looks like it's correctly identified everything. And so I'm going to say confirm. And that's it. So as you can see, using Smart Capture is very easy. And because we supply the input category, the workflows, and then also a sample invoice approval category, it's very, very fast setup. And I actually also made a demo video that you can download from the extranet if you want a little bit more instruction and help in customizing the workflows and importing them onto your system. So all in all, Smart Capture is a really great option if you want to streamline your invoice recognition process, you want to decrease your manual work, and you want to move to a faster way of getting invoices saved and indexed in your Therefore system. So one of the other new features that we have coming with Therefore version 25 is that we have updated our connector for Microsoft Dynamics. Now, previous connectors for Microsoft Dynamics Nav are still supported and still exist. This is a totally new connector built from scratch because the new version of Dynamics Nav is now called Business Central, and it's completely web-based. Just like the previous Dynamic Nav connector, the connector allows invoices, POs, and other data from Nav to be automatically sent for safekeeping in Therefore and vice versa. So you can drag and drop a document onto Nav right here, and then it'll be saved in Therefore and visible via the Therefore viewer. And then also documents can be sent from Therefore after approval, for example, for booking in Microsoft Dynamics Nav. So it's very easy to install, a very fast installation process. If you're interested in learning more about that, we have a really interesting segment by Wolfgang all about the new connector. And of course, we have also included new e-signature providers. As you might be aware of, we have a lot of existing connectors for e-signature providers. And now we have added Signatura and Scribble. So this is in addition to e-signature providers such as DocuSign, SimpleSign, MuSign, Scribe. So we've got 2 more, Signatura and Scribble. And finally, we have also some other new features. We have improved the dynamic web view, which is the new web client. We have new viewing options, so you can use group docs to view documents within the Therefore viewer. So you can try that out if you're having issues currently. If you're not having any issues, it's recommended to stay with the old one. We've also added some advanced settings in the Solution Designer, and we also have a new case document view in the dynamic web view. So please see the release notes for more information. And that's it. So please let me know if you have any questions. Send me an email. And if not, thank you so much.